This is my 1965 Unimog 404 with a diesel engine. Hi, my name is Victor Bart and this will be my camper, and in this video we're gonna turn it into a setup which is super basic so I can sleep in it. This is the standard army radio box, but mine is extended with 50 centimeters and I have something really special which I never seen before. So let's open this door and let's open this door. I have double side doors and this is original, a rear door of the Unimog, and it perfectly fits here where the wheel arch starts this part, and this part is original here. And when I was restoring the box I found out that this metal and the metal on top were completely gone and had to replace. So I asked my father if he could help me, because I found out that there is a possibility to fit a second door here. So why not? Because now the inside and the outside of the Unimog with nice weather is like the same. It's not that you're in your Unimog or that you're outside. It flows over or something. My box is still unfinished. I have only insulation on the walls but no wood in front of it. And I made a basic setup here with some fire extinguisher, a med kit and some tools. But I don't gonna put wood on the walls yet, because in 2 months I will go to the government vehicle check station and have it measured and weighted and do some paperwork on it and stuff like that. So I don't want to make it too heavy yet, and I still have more than a ton weight left over, so it's not be an Unimog that will be overweighted. But I still want to go with it and sleep in it and have it as a super basic camper where I just gonna camp in it as it is. So let's get some lights in the roof that work on 12 volt. We can also work on the 12 volt system. We need a bed, we need a water system, but I didn't decide it yet. Maybe water bottles, maybe a jerrycan. Probably not yet my real water system that I'm going to build. And we need some camping chairs, and I already installed something so I can charge my phone. So let's get started. So a little modification that I already made today is this elastic band in this ring here, so it holds the door open, because when I'm in my box and I move around, the door slides open. So now it's locked in place. And this was like 6 hooks for €5. So yeah, if it breaks I have spares. Another modification that I made are these load securing hooks, because soon I will get a spare diesel engine, so I can hold it with my Unimog and secure it so it won't fall over or damage my box. And those are bolted into the frame of the radio box, so they are super strong. And I got them from my Seat Inca back in the days, and I removed them, I restored them and never put them back. But now they work perfectly fine for in my Unimog. So I have 2 here and 2 in the front. So what I already made is a place for the fire extinguisher, a flashlight, a med kit. I have a frame around my toolbox. Here an extra box with some tools. Here's a tire crane that still needs to go on the roof, and my big heavy tow bar that is secured with this wooden block. And here we have my 12 volt system, but there's also a part 24 volt, because the Unimog is 24 volt, but the camper will be 12 volt, and it has now 170 ampere car battery. That's probably enough for some lights and charging a phone. So I have this DC to DC converter that charges the 12 volt battery, and here a relay to switch this on and off from the cabin. And I have a pass-through for 220 volt, and right now there's some basic light, so if I work on my Unimog I have light in the box. The cabling looks like a mess now, but this is all temporary cables that still needs to be connected. So when it's finished it will look more like this, and then with all the fuses and connectors, and yeah, this is much nicer. I really like making the 12-volt connections and making it really nice. And we're gonna add something to here also later in the video. And I added this box with a 12-volt socket for charging my phone. Right now the rear of the box is just empty, and here we have the wheel arches. They are like few centimeters high. So putting in just a mattress here is a little bit difficult, or you should lay in the middle, that's also possible. But I want to have a raised bed, so let's get a bed for in the Unimog. At home I still had my army stretcher, so let's see if this fits in my Unimog. Because it would make a really good bed base. Okay, it took some effort, but my bed is done. Now let's hope it fits in my Unimog. And you're probably laughing that you know the trick. So please tell me what the trick is to build a bed like this. No, it doesn't fit sideways. Because my box is 1 meter 86 centimeters wide. I don't have standing height in the Unimog because on the highest it's 1 meter 39, but I'm not that tall, so it's fine for me. The wheel arches are not that practical because the bed must stand in the middle. But I think this can work. And I can also sit on it without hitting my head. So that's also nice as a small bench. Maybe a pillow in my back. Yeah, this can work. So let's secure this bed in place. I found some basic straps, and I ordered one day this hook. And I was thinking that I ordered like the little hooks for the soft top, but they were huge. But this together with the strap is actually a perfect fit. So let's screw them to the floor, and with the strap to the bed in the front and the back probably. So it won't shift around when driving around. Okay, the bed is secured. So the next step is some lights here, because this light is on 220 volt and we don't have 220 volt when I'm camping. For the lights I of course want to use LEDs, but because of the height of the box is so low, I can't use like a big LED light. It must be a light that if you hit your head it won't hurt. IKEA had the perfect lights, yes, had, because they screwed it up. They had this beautiful light bar and it works on 12 volt, and I have a lot of them at home, daylight balanced. That's what I love. But they updated this already many years ago because they got complaints from people that, oh, it's too white. So they made this one with the same numbers, and look. It's not the same color. This one is yellow and this one is white. So what I have left over at home is 4 strips. And this one is also yellow. And this one is white. So as a camera person, it's just horrible to mix up lights. So I was thinking, okay, let's go to IKEA, just buy the yellow ones, and I have some lights in the box because it's all temporary. But then I checked in IKEA and they still have them, and I was checking them and they are not 12 volt anymore, but they are now 24 volt. Like, they updated the products 2 times to make it even worse to use it in a camper box for cheap. Because a set of 4 is only 20 euros. So, IKEA lights, all the LED solutions are now 24 volt and not 12 volt anymore. So I can't use them. But luckily at the hardware shop I found this ProLight LED strip line. I think they are almost the same as the IKEA ones, and they are still running at 12 volt. So I bought 4 of them and they were 30 euros, a little bit longer. So yeah, the hardware store is always more expensive. So can I get this open without scissors? We don't need a manual because we're gonna use them different than in the manual. I'm curious, will they fit together? Actually, they fit together, but not sure if that will work. Let's just try it. Okay. The IKEA adapter works on this light, so they are compatible with each other. So that is nice. And they are pretty bright. So yeah. For now, let's just connect an IKEA one to them. Okay, if I check it like this, they are twice as bright as the IKEA one. So they are more expensive, but also brighter. So okay, good enough deal. And at least they are compatible with each other. They probably come out the same factory. So the trick is, now it comes of course with an adapter and a switch, but we don't gonna use that. Because if we cut off this wire and figure out which the positive and which the negative, we can just put it on the 12 volt system of the Unimog. So yeah, let's see where I'm gonna place them, wire them up. Then we're gonna turn this one off and see what kind of light it will give. And I want to make a few in the rear and a few in the front and maybe in the middle, because I want to use 2 of the IKEA, the yellow ones, and 4 of the new ones. And they come with metal clips and also tape and screws. So let's give this Unimog some lights. Oh, this is a connector piece. And I got a full bag of accessories from all my IKEA lights. So I have enough cable sets to make a good configuration. The IKEA connector perfectly fits the hardware store one. So I have enough very long cables. So I'm thinking to put 2 from IKEA, the small ones, under here to give a little bit of light here in the rear. It's not that much light, but it's better to have some light than use a flashlight every time in the dark. I really like building the 12 volt system. It's just a lot of fun, and I got this super nice box full of connectors, and the right crimping tool, so that makes your life so much easier. So I spent a lot of money on all the connectors, but it is worth it. So what I'm gonna do is, so this is a 12 volt power distribution, but also a part is 24 volt. So green is 24 volt, red is 12 volt. And here we have the DC to DC charger to charge the camping battery. This line is a 12 volt, which is directly connected to the battery. This is the earth connection, and this is the 24 volt. And the 24 volt is switched by this relay from the dashboard. So I only have 24 volt when I switch on the dashboard, and then also the DC to DC charger will go on. So the 12 volt is not in use for the normal camping stuff, but more that I have some connections that I can use it. They all have 10 ampere fuses, but only the DC to DC charger has a 20 and a 30 ampere fuse. This is the ground connection, and if we gonna connect more stuff, this will get way too full. So what I'm gonna do is install this extra ground block. So we have a lot of connections. And I'm gonna add 2 switches in the system, probably in the box here below. So I can switch the light, and probably I also gonna switch like my fridge. I made 2 switches in this box. One will be for the lights and the other one will be for the fridge. So here we have the IKEA adapter with some wire on it and even another switch. So let's cut it off because we don't need the adapter. And we have 2 wires inside, and we need to check which wire is the 12 volt positive and which one is the negative, so we can wire it to the Unimog car battery. Then we take our meter. Always get an electric meter. A basic one like this will help you so much. Okay, it is 12 volt and not 220. You never know when you're hacking things together. Okay, the brown is the positive and the blue wire is the negative. The switches are wired up. So let's try out the lights in the Unimog. That looks pretty decent. I have a strip here, and the 2 little ones in the rear. And I have enough light here. It's a little bit darker here in the corner. So maybe 1 strip or 2 strips here, and it will be perfect. The wiring is super simple. 12 volt, a fuse, down to the switch, and from the switch through this line to this distribution box that came with IKEA lights, and then all the thin wires to the LEDs. So let's see if the box still will close, because there are a lot of wires inside. Nice, I like it, this little switch box. Here on the side, the connector to put in the adapter from 12 volt to USB. Here we have my 50 liter Waco fridge. It's from a Volvo truck, and I made this frame that I gonna screw onto the floor, and then with straps over the fridge to hold it in place, and the feet of the fridge will fall into here so it won't slide out. almost 3 a.m. I think I should head home because it's getting a little bit out of hand, a little bit late. But let's see what happens if we flip the switch. Oh, we need to put back the fuse. Let's see what happens. No explosion. And I hear the fridge. So the fridge is also working and has a nice basket inside. So ready to cool some beers. I made a huge mess, but we have a bed, we have a fridge, we have lights, we have a 12-volt system, we can charge the phone. So yeah, I think tomorrow I will finish my plans here because it's now way too late and I will head home. So see you tomorrow. So it's the next day and from home I took some cooking equipment with me, like a non-stick pan and some cooking utensils, plates, cups, things like that, and my little gas burner that I bought many years ago and never used, with this kind of gas bottle. So that will be my cooking equipment. And I went to the store and I got some bungee cables and I will use them later in this video. 2 extra sets of straps, and I bought an essential ingredient for driving the Unimog: earplugs. And I bought 15 of them in this pot. So yeah, I think I will be very happy with this purchase on long trips. And I bought an emergency toilet bucket. Super simple, it was 10 euros. And I think I will be really happy with this someday if it like really hard rains, or if I'm on a spot where I can't go to the outside. And I will have a composting toilet in my Unimog in a later stage. But the kit I have seen was like 400 euros and it was 10 euros. So there's a little bit of a difference. And because the army bed has one problem, that you get a cold back if you're laying on it. I bought an extra air mattress, a self-inflating one, and this is the perfect size for the bed. A little comfort upgrade. So let's open the valve so it can inflate and we can test it out. Yes, this is a perfect fit. Let's have it inflated so I can try it out, but I already think this is a huge improvement and I'm not sure if it will stay in here or that I need to find a way to secure it to the bed. Oh, I think it's already inflated. It inflates way faster than my truffle one. So let's close the valve. This is actually quite nice. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, this is a huge improvement over only the bed. Here are my super fancy camping chairs. So yeah, this is the newest model. I think they are like almost 50 years old. They sit really good. So yeah, I found them at home. And this one is particularly cool because this little rope I put on here as a kit. So I could put my fishing rod under this little rope over here and just sit on the side of the water with my fishing rod, chilling. So I decided to bring 2 of them and look at the print. You can't beat that with a modern chair. I made 2 brackets here and 2 rings here, so I can easily hang the chairs over the brackets. Then take 2 bungee cords, put them in a hole here, and this one on here. And now they are hanging from my door, and if I close the door they are out of the way, so if I open the door because it's nice weather I can easily take them off and put them back. So I think this is the perfect spot for them. It's quite some days later and I had a lot of problems with my brakes, so I didn't work on the camper stuff. So I removed the master brake cylinder and wheels, and I had 3 leaking brake cylinders in the wheels, so yeah, that was not good, and it's still not solved because we have some holiday days here. So I lost 4 days where I couldn't get parts, so I hope tomorrow in the morning I can get the parts for the master brake cylinder and rebuild it. But I did some work today on the camper stuff, and we also now have a kitchen and of course a toilet and a bed and everything. And I put here an army shuffle, so I don't have to look for it, it's directly accessible. And the camping chairs here. So let's go inside and give you a tour of my little mini home. So where should I start? Here I have a little stool that I made a few months ago, and this is the perfect height for me to sit in the Unimog. So it's also when the finished build is done that I have like an extra seat. And also this will be the seat in front of the kitchen, so I can sit while cooking. I think that would be nice. Here we have my kitchen. But there's more of the kitchen, so let's maybe get a tripod. So here under the bed I have some boxes and a piece of wood so it won't slide to here. And this is now my kitchen box. So it's a... Wait, let's lower the camera a little bit. So it's a standard curver box with a lid on top, and under the lid we have some pots and plates and stuff, just some storage. But the nice thing about this lid is that it has a hole here, so I can take my burner, put it in the hole, and now it's stable so it won't fall over. Plus I have some table space here to work on. So yeah, it's a little box, little side project of some wood that was laying around. But now I have a kitchen setup and I can cook some things, warm things up. So together with this box we have also this box with kitchen utilities and plates and some cleaning stuff and yeah, matches to make fire. And here another box for some other random things. And I hope it stays on top while driving. But this one is super light. Otherwise I need to make some bungee cords or something to keep it in place. But I like it that it is stored under here. So let's put the kitchen box back. And I'm not sure yet where I'm gonna store the burner, but probably I'm gonna take off this part and put the normal stop back and then put it somewhere. I added a bungee cord for the fridge so it won't fall open while driving around, and my tire crane that needs to go on the roof someday is now under the bed and with my tow bar. So let's take a look in the front of the Unimog what we have. So here we have my 12-volt system, and I added my C-Tech charger direct plugged into the system so I can easily charge it. A fly squatter, and then here a toolbox and the other toolbox. And this toolbox was for my father, so I think it's nice to put it in the Unimog. And a med kit, fire extinguisher, flashlight, some emergency equipment. And we have a toilet! So this is an emergency bucket, strong enough to sit on, so if I don't have an option, I can go to the toilet here. Here is my water system, just water bottles. So yeah, I have a complete water system with a big tank and pumps and stuff, but for now I think just bring some water in bottles is more than enough. And under the camper body by the chassis I have room for two 20-liter jerry cans for water or diesel. So I have plenty space to bring extra water if I need to. I close the side doors of my radio box, and with the minimalistic setup that I built, but with all the things you need, we have plenty of room. So if a second person wants to sleep now, he or she can put a mattress here in the middle and have enough room to sleep. But in the final build my bed will be here in the rear, so, and sideways, and then in the front here will be a kitchen and seating and everything fixed, so no building up. I don't really like that. We have a nice minimalistic micro overland camper. So for the bed I now have a simple sleeping bag, and with the army mattress, and then this self-inflating extra mattress to have an extra layer so it won't get too cold from the bottom. So let's see how the bed is. I didn't try it out yet to see if it's actually usable to sleep. Otherwise I need to make a new plan. Also the height of the bed is pretty nice to sit on. Maybe even a little bit too high because my feet are dangling in the air. But I'm not that tall. But also enough headroom. So this is a good height to measure to base the rest of the camper off. But let's try out the bed. Yeah, I like the bed. It's a little bit on the harder side, but it gives good support. Only the sleeping bag is a little bit sliding around. So let's see, can I hit the light button from here? Yes. A little bit on the far side. I really need to stretch my arm. This will be a great basic setup to sleep in and go to events maybe if they are already there. But first I need to fix those bloody brakes. I can sleep in it, I can make food in it, I have a fridge, I have a toilet, I have water, I have lights, so what else do I need? But I was already thinking, maybe I should make a platform in the rear and just put this mattress on it. It just fits there and sleep sideways in the back on just in one position. So yeah, but let's first go out with this setup and see how it goes. But there's one slight issue that I didn't work on, and that was with my first test drive in the rain. I had some water here, so I'm not sure if it was condensation or something leaking. So yeah, maybe I should put some extra plastic over here, so if it leaks it just flows on the wall instead of on my bed. So not sure how that will go. But it is above my bed, so that's not the best place to have a leakage. So what did I spend on building this minimalistic camper setup? To be honest, not that much. The most expensive part was the air mattress. I think it was 60 euros, but some sleeping comfort is good to have. The lights here were 30 euros, but they really work well. We have the toilet bucket that was 10 euros, and then the little things like the straps and the bungee cords and some little things were like 15-20 euros, so I think I spent 120 euros on it. And many things I already owned, like this military bed and the sleeping bag, stuff like that. And the gas burner is brand new. I only bought it 9 years ago and never used it. And I already had the pans, and this cup is older than me. I found it at home. It was by the boat supplies, and I think when I was a kid we already replaced it with another set. So yeah, this is nostalgic for me, so it's nice to have in the Unimog. Also, this yellow plate comes out the same boat. So yeah, I really enjoy to have it now in this setup. And also the camping chairs are older than me, and I can already remember them as a kid. And if I watch old photos, I already see them before I was born. So I think it's really awesome to bring them now in the Unimog setup. I really want to go on the road with the Unimog and test out this setup. But those bloody brakes first need to work, so that's the first thing in the morning that I gonna work on, get the parts, put it back together, test it out, and I really hope that I can go on the road this week. If I go on the road and test this out, I will bring the camera with me and I will make a video about it, just to see how the experience is of sleeping in the Unimog. And yeah, so I hope that will be soon. And thanks for watching.